I am working on mounting an Apex 5500 winch on a Kawasaki Teryx4 2019, and the winch is a little bit bigger than a lot of the standard ATV winches to fit up in here. And so I've come up with this idea to use angle iron. Cut 5 pieces that are all 5 inches long, and they're gonna be bolted through the existing holes that are kind of in this winch mounting location. And weld up kind of this base. I may put a hole through there for an additional bolt. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but I'm going to get this base welded up, and then I'm going to take the winch mount that came with the Apex winch, and I will weld it to the top of this spacer and see how it turns out. All right, so I've got the base portion welded up. You can see generally how it's going to sit. So I'm going to mark the holes from the bottom and drill those so I can have it ready to attach to the plate on the machine. So I've I've put the skid plate back on, and what I want to do is have it so the front of this spacer or winch mount just touches that skid plate. It also helps me kind of center it, and you can see I've got the winch sitting there. Of course it's not welded on. That winch mount that came with the winch isn't welded on, but you can see one of the things you got to watch out for are these terminals, particularly this one on the front. Gets really close to the bumper, and so once I drill and attach that spacer plate, then I'm going to fine tune. You can see kind of some of the clearances you have. I'm going to fine tune where that plate sits so that I can make sure I center the winch, but also have enough clearance on all sides. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to be able to put that plate on the back there that originally held the front sway bar. I wasn't planning to put the front sway bar back on anyway. Kind of wish I could have that plate maybe for stiffening the frame, but it's not looking like there's going to be enough room, particularly because of needing clearance for that guy, that terminal right there. So we will see. All right, here's what I ended up with. Welds aren't perfect, but this is what it looks like. See, probably could have shortened the length of those 2 lower legs there, maybe to about 4.5 inches, but that's okay. See, my welds aren't very pretty, that's for sure, but they will hold. I was able to completely weld both sides of it. Again, it's a little windy out here, and I could tell when the wind picked up and was blowing my coverage gas out. But again, those are solid. Should hold just fine. I'll get it painted up and show you how it mounts. Alright, it's all done. So, got the fair lead on there. I hadn't painted the lower skid plate before I put it back on. It's all bolted up. Still have to wire it. You can see it may look like it's close, but there's actually a good amount of clearance there. between that that terminal and the tube there on the bumper. But pretty happy how this turned out. It's pretty solid. I'm not concerned about it breaking. I didn't mention earlier that that was 2-inch angle iron, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick. Somebody that wants it even more beefy could go with 3/8 of an inch, but I went with an 1/8, and I think it's going to be just fine. Yeah, so worked well. Hopefully this will help somebody else that's wanting to mount this winch on a Teryx. That 2-inch space, I think, made it land just about right in there. I won't be putting this plate back on in the area that held the sway bar, but that'll be okay. I'll just leave it off. I'm sure it won't matter. And there you go.